Welcome back to the channel. So we're finally gonna do the comparison video between this Q995D and the Sonos system that I have, which is Sonos Arc Aero 300s and one Subgen 3. Now I know that the Aero 300s aren't really a fair comparison to the surround speakers on the Q995D, but since the Q995D has up-firing speakers, I think those sounds better than the Sonos One SL and the Aero 100s. I've tried them both out and these sound better than both of them. So that's why I want to see how much or how good these are compared to the Aero 300s. And I know that most of you guys that are watching these videos probably gonna get into the Sonos system for the first time, so you're just gonna buy something new in the Sonos ecosystem, and I think that most of you guys are also gonna get into buying the Arc Ultra, Aero 300s, and a Subgen 3 or a Subgen 4. That's the first setup probably most of you guys are gonna go for. So you're gonna see what the Aero 300s can do compared to a setup like this as well. So I think that's gonna be a pretty good comparison video as well. So we're gonna max it out, like I said. If you have headphones on, we're gonna try, I think 50 or max 60 on the Q995D, because like I said, between 30 and 40 is already too loud. There's something with the treble on the Q995D that's making it a little bit too loud, and not loud in a good way. I think level 50 is gonna be too much on that Q995D. But like I said, most of you guys aren't even gonna use that volume level. If you're getting the Q995D, I don't think you're gonna watch any movies at volume 50. So I don't think that's gonna be any problem for like 99% of you guys that are watching these videos. So yeah. But yeah, one speech and dialogue scene and then one action scene to try out the surround speakers, the bass, and all that stuff as well. So let's turn around the camera and let's do the test. Let's go.
It's getting tighter. That guy knows what I'm talking about. His clothes say middle management, but his eyes say fucky.
Yes, you look very nice.
Nice? Your buddy here is ready to throw it all away from me. You calling your wife?
HR.
Does your wife work in HR?
I'm really glad you're taking this so well.
Oh, I'm taking it well. I have never had a problem traveling for work. That said, we should talk vacation days. I'm more of a 1 week on, 1 week off kind of guy. I think it's what they do in Denmark. You know, you'll never see a Danish flag on the moon, but God damn it, they're happy. Now, let's power up your little Amazon Fire Phone there and zip me back home so I can let my friends know that they've been upgraded to disciples.
Yeah, I don't think you quite understand. You will not be returning to your home because there will be no home to return to.
Come again? This time in my ears?
This is your universe, Mr. Wilson. That is what happens when a universe loses their anchor being. See how it decays from the inside? This is how a reality.
was volume level 65 on the Q995D. Man, okay, I could have pushed it to 70, 75, maybe even 80 without any distortions at all from the soundbar or the surround speakers. I think that it still had an amazing sound coming out of everything. I had to push down, as you could see in the video, I had to push down the treble. It was on +2, so I pushed it down to 0. I think the treble is already way too loud on the soundbar, so having it on even +1 is too much. So I think 0 is the perfect amount, no matter what you're gonna watch. Especially if you're gonna watch an action movie, I think 0 is the perfect amount if you're gonna use this setup. And then of course the bass in the soundbar is weak. That's the weakest point of this setup. I think that Samsung should focus a little bit on that in the next generation that they're gonna push out, because the bass is really weak on the soundbar. If you're gonna compare it to the Arc, it's barely got any bass in it. So yeah, what we're gonna do now is change the setup that we have on and connect the Sonos Arc Era 300s and one Subgen 3 and do the same video test. So let's go. Before we continue on with the video, let me just show you guys that we have the Sonos Arc connected with Era 300s to the left, right, one Subgen 3 connected as well. The setting is gonna be as we had on the Q series, which is +6 on bass and +2 on treble. I know we did a minus on the treble with the Q series, or no, not minus, we did 0 on the Q series, but we're still gonna keep the +2 on with the treble on the Sonos Arc, since the speeches and dialogues are not that good on the Sonos Arc as it is on the Q series. I wish that let me say it like this, if the Sonos Arc had speeches and dialogues as good as the Q series, the Q995D soundbar, that would be amazing. But yeah, TV level is gonna be on +10. We're gonna use the sub audio. Here is the tricky part with the Subgen 3 is that you can, as you can see, you can push it up to 15. I have never tried it out on 15 before, since I have 2 subs. The max I have tried out with 2 subs is +10. And let me say that yeah, the whole room was shaking, and I think that my neighbor downstairs, if he had any lamps on the roof or anything like that, I think those were shaking as well. So, but yeah, the sub audio we're gonna keep it at +6 as we did with the Q series, and the height is on +10. The difference is with the Sonos app and the Q series app is that you can change the height on the surround speakers and the height on the Arc. So you cannot do that within the Samsung app itself. And we got speech enhancement on. The biggest difference there is, as well, as you can see, as soon as you turn on speech enhancement or voice enhancement, as it is called in the Samsung app, you can really hear the speeches being better. It's already good, but it just gets better with the Q series. With Sonos Arc, I think the big difference there with the speech enhancement is like you get 10% more speech enhancement in the Sonos Arc if you have the speech enhancement on compared to off. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna turn it off so you can hear the difference between on and off as well. But yeah, these are gonna be the settings, and let's go.
But I love it. Snug, no camel toe, new car smell, and adamantium katanas? You shouldn't have. Go ahead, take it in. And yes, your underwear is getting tighter. That guy knows what I'm talking about. His clothes say middle management, but his eyes say fucky.
Yes, you look very nice.
Nice? Your buddy here is ready to throw it all away from me. You calling your wife? HR. Does your wife work in HR?
I'm really glad you're taking this so well.
Oh, I'm taking it well. I have never had a problem traveling for work. That said, we should talk vacation days. I'm more of a 1 week on, 1 week off kind of guy. I think it's what they do in Denmark. You know, you'll never see a Danish flag on the moon, but God damn it, they're happy. Now, let's power up your little Amazon Fire Phone there and zip me back home so I can let my friends know that they've been upgraded to disciples.
Yeah, I don't think you quite understand. You will not be returning to your home because there will be no home to return to.
Come again? This time in my ears?
This is your universe, Mr. Wilson. That is what happens when a universe loses their anchor being. See how it decays from the inside? This is how a reality dies.
What's an anchor being?
An anchor being is an entity.
So that was the Sonos Arc Era 300s and a Subgen 3. Before we talk about and compare these two, or not compare, but talk about the go into the rest of the video, I just want to say that there are two things that I really love about the Q series over my Sonos setup. Number two is the speech and dialogues is way better on the Q series. I wish that my Sonos Arc sounded like that as it does with the Q995D soundbar, because it sounds amazing with speeches and dialogues. You can, I don't know if I did that with the Q995D soundbar, if I tried out the difference between if you press the voice enhancement or not, but as soon as you press the voice enhancement, it's already good on the Q995D. But once you press that button in the app, it adds 20% more voice speeches and dialogues performance. It gets 20% better. As you could see with the Sonos setup, I don't know what's going on there, but I started off with the voice enhancement off. I pressed the button, nothing happened. It still sounds the same. It was the same volume and same yeah, it sounded the same with the Sonos Arc with the voice enhancement on and off. So I thought that was really weird. So I cannot answer why that is. I always thought with the voice enhancement, with the speech enhancement on, that we would be at least 10% better with the Sonos Arc. But as you can see, you can go back into the video and you will see that nothing changes when I press it on or off. It sounds the same. That was number two. Number one is I love the connectivity of the Samsung Q series. The Q995D connectivity is awesome. Not once have I had trouble reconnecting it once I have disconnected the soundbar to install my Sonos Arc to do this test. I've disconnected, reconnected, I've disconnected, reconnected a couple of times, at least 10 times for the past week to do my tests, and not once have it had trouble reconnecting the Q series within the app or to the Wi-Fi itself. I just connect the HDMI and the power cord, and like that it's already connected within the app. I can change the settings for the whole setup and change the volume as well. Once I disconnect my Sonos Arc, I don't know what's going on, but if I want to reconnect it, you can find it in the app, but you cannot do anything with the settings. You cannot change the volume, you cannot change the equalizer, you cannot change anything, and it's not like it takes 5 minutes. Yesterday when I did that, I changed between these two setups. It took me almost 1.5 hours before it could read the Sonos Arc in the app, before I could change the volume within the app. And I know that you Sonos guys would always say that that something is wrong with the Wi-Fi, your Wi-Fi is shit. That's not the problem here. Because if my Wi-Fi would have been shit, it would have been like that with the Samsung as well. So it's not my Wi-Fi. It's something wrong with the Sonos Wi-Fi system that makes it unbearable for you to disconnect it and reconnect the whole setup again. Because once I do that, yesterday it took me 1.5 hours just to be able to do some. I even reconnected, I even restarted my Wi-Fi 5 times yesterday because I thought maybe something wrong with my Wi-Fi, but it was not that. It took it 1.5 hours to reconnect the whole setup to even watch something yesterday, and that's not how it's supposed to be. With that, I would say that the Samsung wins with connectivity as well, because like I said, once I connect the HDMI cord and the power cord, it's already set in the app. I can change the settings, I can change whatever I want, I can change the volume, everything. But with Sonos, it's a whole different story there with the connectivity. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah. Let's talk about these two setups. I'm gonna be honest and say that most of you guys that are gonna buy your first home theater setup, you will be 100% satisfied with the Q995D. It sounds amazing. The soundbar is amazing. The surround speakers are amazing. I think its weakest part, now I'm a bass head, so for me 2 subs already is, if I could I would buy 4 subs because I love bass, like I said. But for me, I think that the weakest part of the Q995D is the bass. The soundbar barely has any. The sub is good, and like I said, it will satisfy most of you guys out there. But if you are a bass head, you will not be really satisfied with the bass that's coming out of the sub of the Q995D. But I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube, and apparently you can connect a second sub to the Q995D and have 2 subs connected to that setup. I don't know how they have done it, and I have not watched those videos, but I've seen a couple of them, but I have not watched them. But apparently you can connect 2 subs to the Q995D. So if bass, I don't even think that bass is gonna be an issue, but you have to put out more than that $800 that you are thinking about if you really love bass. But like I said, I think that 90% or even more than that is going to be satisfied with everything from the Q995D, especially if it's your first time buying a home theater setup. You will be satisfied with the Q995D. I think it is an amazing setup. I'm pretty shocked that Samsung did something this good, but like I said, I had, before the Sonos setup, I had the LG SN11RG, I think it was called, and that one cost $1,000. And for me, I thought it was included with the TV, but the price of the soundbar itself, when I watched it, it was around $1,000, but it was included with the LG OLED CX TV when I bought it a couple of years ago. So But that setup, going from that setup to the Sonos Arc was a huge, to the Sonos setup was a huge difference. I would say that the Sonos setup was at least 70% better than that LG setup. Between these two, I don't know where to put it. I don't want I don't want to be that guy, but I'm just gonna say that the Q995D is totally worth it if you want to buy it as a first-time home theater setup, and for the price it's at right now, is totally worth it. Buy it, try it. I always say that. Buy it, try it. If you're not satisfied with it, just send it back or give it back, or and exchange it for the Sonos to try them both out. Because it doesn't matter what I say in front of the camera right now, because there are still gonna be a discussion about it in the comment section. Some people will say, no, the Q995D is pure shit, and some people will say that Sonos is this and that, right? So it really doesn't matter. I always say, buy it, try it, and I promise you that most of you guys out there will love the Q995D. You will absolutely love it. So, but, okay, but if money is no issue and you want to spend $2,500 to $3,000 on a setup, then you have the Arc Ultra, 1 sub Gen 4 and Era 300s, and you will be amazed by the Sonos setup. Like, there is a reason why I didn't change my old Arc to the new Arc Ultra. I still love the old Arc, but we're gonna retry that in a couple of months, the Arc Ultra, to see if it's at least, it has to be at least 30 to 40% better for me to exchange my old Arc for the new Arc Ultra. But for now, even the Q995D soundbar is better than both of them when it comes to speeches and dialogues. Everything else, the Sonos setup or the Sonos soundbar is a step better. So, but like I said, if money is no issue, then go buy yourself a setup that is at least 3 times more expensive than the Q995D. But I think that most of you guys that are going for the Q995D, for the price that it is at today, you will be satisfied with the Q995D. But at least buy it and try it. That's always my recommendation for you guys. I've always said that in my comment section. I'm always active in my comment section as well, so you guys know I always say, try it. Always try something. If you're not sure about something, just try it. If you're not satisfied, most stores today, and even Sonos has, I don't know if they've changed it, but they have 60 days return policy. So you can just try it. If you're not satisfied, return it. Try this, the Samsung Q995D. Even the Samsung has 30 days. Here in Sweden they have 30 days, so you can try it. If you're not satisfied with it, they have free return to just send it back. No, I don't want this. You can just send it back. So, but like I said, for the price that the Samsung is at today, you will not find anything better than that at this price range. So the Q995D kind of shocked me because I think it's really good. We're all gonna have different opinions. I know that some people will say, like I said, people will say, no, the Q995D is pure shit. And some people will say this and that about the Sonos setup. So, but for me, there are 2 things that I really love about the Q995D, and I told them before: speeches and dialogues and connectivity. If that matters, try out the Q995D and you will see how good that is at those 2. And so yeah, this was a test between the Q995D that you guys have been wanting for a while now. For the past 6 months you have been asking me to try this out, so I hope you guys are satisfied. Comment down below if you bought the Q995D and what you think about it, and if you have Sonos set up already and you bought the Q995D to try it out as well, what you guys think about these 2 in comparison, and comment about what you think about the dialogues of the Q995D, because I'm really amazed by that when it comes to the Q995D I'm really amazed by the dialogues and speeches and dialogues of the Q995D. So yeah, I'm gonna check out some new setups to try out and compare with this with the Sonos system. So if you have any suggestions, please comment about that in the comment section down below. And I'm thinking about comparing the Sony Bar 9 maybe in my next video, but that's just gonna be the soundbar versus soundbar and soundbar and sub versus soundbar and sub. We're not gonna include any surround speakers with that. Or some Klipsch. Klipsch has been on sale now on Black Friday as well. So we got Klipsch 700 and Klipsch 800 on sale. The Klipsch 700 is $500 right now here in Sweden. I don't know how much that is in your countries, but and the Klipsch 800 is actually on 1100 for that setup. But I'm gonna see. We're gonna test more soundbars out and compare them like we did with the Q995D. If you have any suggestions, like I said, comment about that in the video, and I will try my best to get my hands on it. But yeah, that's end of the test sections between these two, and let's see what's up for the next test videos. I will see what I can get my hands on. Until then, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.